Hi, welcome back to Law Unfiltered. Now, I'm not a sports person, okay, but when I talk about sports, I think about medals, I think about winning, victories, breaking records. And I think most people are like me. We don't think about the law. What the hell? It's like very boring, right? Obviously, I know. But after a little bit of light reading,
Light reading. This is light.
it's actually quite interesting. And I have a few questions. And who better to ask than my special guest here, Mr. Richard Wee. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Richard Wee, a member of the Malaysian Bar since 1999. Thank you, and I'm pleased to be part of the podcast today.
Oh, I'm honored.
Yeah.
So, are you ready for my first question?
Yeah, shoot, man. I'll try my best. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna start with the basics. Okay. What exactly how do we define doping? Like, what are the examples of doping in the current generation that we live in right now?
Okay, very good question. So,
Yeah.
for sports law, one of the most important areas where I call it pure sports law is doping, because only sports have doping. Doping is basically to ensure that the drinks that I drink does not include substances which is illegal. So who's the policeman? The policeman is a World Anti-Doping Agency. We call them WADA. They are based in Canada, and they have offices around the world. So in Malaysia, the policeman is called ADAMAS, Anti-Doping Agency of Malaysia, ADAMAS, which is based in Putrajaya. So they'll check your urine, your blood, and to make sure you don't have things like, for example, steroids or whatever. So to answer the question, anti-doping, is a process by the sports administration to make sure the athlete is genuinely strong, not artificially strong.
But so while I was trying to learn more about doping, I found out this new thing about doping is called gene modification.
Yeah.
Right? So they modify their gene. I don't know whether it's at birth, like test tube babies, or like after they are like fully grown human being, they modify their gene or whatnot. But yeah, this is like interesting. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do we define whether the gene modification is right or wrong? What if they were already like that at the time when they were born because of them being test tube babies?
Like Kester's case.
Yeah.
So, another good question. Yeah. So, if I can just quickly go through the history of doping. Generally, doping used to be because an athlete would consume certain kind of food to make him or her stronger artificially, which means it's not fair play anymore.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of anti-doping is to make sure that there is fair play. And over the last 3-5 years, maybe even as far back as 7 years ago, we discovered that our genes, if you extract out your blood and you mix your blood and shake it in a particular way, I've seen how it's done, and you re-inject into your body, you have extra oxygen, you have extra revitalization. So if you are an athlete, means you have extra vitamins in your body.
Yeah.
You become strong overnight.
Yeah.
So that is at the moment again being monitored by WADA. Generally, and the WADA does not permit this. So if they check your blood and they discover that there's something very unnatural about your blood, then they can either suspend you, sack you, or even ban you for a few years. It's quite strict.
Oh, but what if this person was already like this at the time when he was born because he was a test tube baby?
Oh, that's a different issue, but on the same wavelength. So an example is there when a person is, and I don't mean to target the ladies, but this is peculiar to certain feminine athletes, where by nature they have a lot of male testosterone.
Okay.
And the infamous case of Miss Caster Semenya, or Semino. Anyway, Miss Caster is a very powerful athlete, but her body naturally produces male testosterone. So her case was actually tested all the way to the Supreme Court of Arbitration for Sports, which is the highest court for sports. And she was found to be having too much male testosterone, so she was not allowed to play the women's game. So that is an example of where genetics come in. So that's a slightly different issue. There's not gene editing, where a person is genetically like that. So now, to be fair, I think the sports world is still grappling on how exactly to deal with this, because we do have, for example, men who now feel that they are trans, that they are women. They feel like they're women. They think like women. They dress up like women. They want to be a woman, but they either have not gone through whatever surgery to change or whatever, but they want to participate as a lady. So, of course, generally in the Olympics, it's not permitted.
Yeah.
But I do know certain sports events in certain Western countries, they do allow a man who now see himself as a woman, so she can now participate as a woman, which actually is fairly unfair because the person's body
biologically
is still a man.
Yeah.
So, and generally a man's body
it's definitely stronger than a girl's body.
Unless you're like me, a bit plump and fat, right? But generally most men are quite strong, you know. So yeah, that's the moment. There are two kinds of issue. One is gene editing. That is generally not allowed. But genetics is still an uncharted area with the world. Most of the world sports are still figuring a way out on how to manage it.
Now, let's just say that if an athlete is found to be to have, for example, taken steroids, like for example, okay, and then they are now going through the tribunal, right? So, what can they do? They can. I'm assuming that they can either say that they plead guilty to it, or they don't plead guilty to it. What if they don't plead guilty to it, but they were found guilty? Can they appeal? What is the process like?
Okay. Again, good question, and really meant for sports lawyers.
Yeah.
So, must first understand for anti-doping process and procedure, especially if you are a fellow lawyer, you will understand the words like due process. You understand the words like whether a person has been properly prosecuted. So the first is how the charge comes about.
Yeah.
So it usually is because after the test, and the test can be done anytime. It can be done while the athlete is still participating or while the athlete is training. So while training, someone from WADA can come to your house, knock your door, and says, I want your urine now. It can be done.
You mean like when I'm not having a game, but
correct.
I'm just
You're
training.
You're in the middle of training.
Yeah.
Your tournament is next month.
Yeah.
WADA has a right to come to your house to ask for your urine. This is called random check to make sure that you are not gobbling steroids, So that's the first thing. So they must first understand the extent of WADA's involvement. It's
like spot check.
Yes, correct. And to be fair, actually, this area require in universities or even in a bar, it will take you a few weeks, few months to. So, and we got only 5 minutes. So, pardon me if those who are aware of the area may sound like I'm compressing it because I am.
Yeah.
Now, so the first is that how they check, prosecute, and if they find that your urine or your blood has some elements where, you got steroid, then they will charge you. At the time, there's a provisional suspension really. That means you're deemed guilty until otherwise.
That is kind of like contradicting to our general fundamental human rights.
So under WADA rules, you are straight away suspended until you can show me
that you are innocent.
So you also must understand the background that all athletes are required to execute agreements to participate in the tournament. And when they execute the agreement, there's a clause in the agreement which say that I, as an athlete, agree to adhere to WADA. And if WADA wants to come and check my house, I allow.
So they cannot say no lah.
What
if they say no?
Well,
then they refuse.
Then they can't take part. They can't take part. They're not allowed. So like World Cup football now going on. It was the footballers, if they don't want to sign this, they can't play. It's very simple. So this is the way of forcing all athletes to be clean. It's a way to make sure athletes stay clean. So that's if you know a professional athlete, you will see that he or she is very careful with drinking. They will check the what is on the ingredients
Yeah.
before they consume,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So anyway, back to that. So they'll be suspended and then
Yeah.
the athlete can challenge it. Either they ask for a sample B. So normally there are 2 samples taken from you. That means you have to urine 2 times or take blood 2 times. So that you may want to challenge by saying, I think the first check, there's something wrong. So I want a second test. And let's say second test comes out negative. That means the athlete is vindicated.
Okay.
Then there's a possibility that the charge will be dropped and then you're free lah. But that's rare, very rare. So when they test second time and now you're really tested positive, then effectively your defense is very limited and you can only effectively mitigate and try to reduce your suspension, which is usually 3 to 5 years. That is effectively a career killer.
Minimum.
Yeah. Some sports is 18 months, some sports is 2 years, but effectively 3 years is one. So if I can give an example, very famous tennis player, about 11, 12 years ago, Miss Maria Sharapova. So she had been taking a medicine her entire career. And then in every December, the WADA will issue out a list of substances which is now deemed to be illegal.
Okay.
So, for example, substance X was never there. Now they
Put there already.
They put there because they will always constantly check, they review, then they realize, hey, this substance X, if you makan, suddenly becomes strong,
Oh.
So she have this slight asthma.
Okay.
And she was taking this medicine to suppress it. Unbeknown to her, 1 month before the Australian Open, this WADA code came out and none of her coach
Saw
and
it.
herself, they never checked because they never even bothered about it because they thought it's good.
It's asthma medicine.
Some kind of medicine, right? So tiba-tiba she kena tested in Australia, positive. She was shocked. She was so shocked. And true enough, she was suspended for 3 years. And her case, she appealed to Court of Arbitration for Sports in Switzerland,
Yeah.
CAS. And it was reduced to 18 months.
Oh.
So she was out for 18 months and then she came back, she played again.
But can she still eat the medicine?
Now cannot. I mean, if you want to continue eating, then you cannot play lah.
But she got asthma.
So she can take other medicine.
Oh.
So it's very important for athletes who have asthma or maybe allergy. The medicine they take, they must check with the doctor first. And the best is the doctors who are involved in sports lah. Also, there are processes in all fairness. There is a appeal process in WADA.
Yeah.
It is called
Appeal.
Oh no, I can't remember the word now. There is a legal term where the athlete can ask for an exemption, and they apply for an exemption on the basis that I am on medication. So they have to submit the medication and they submit the appeal. And sometimes WADA will allow, sometimes WADA won't allow.
Why would they not allow?
Because this message is too strong. That no matter how they exempt you, in Malay word, memang will make you too strong or have other, and by the way, it's not just about being strong. Sometimes the medicine also make you mentally sharp. Some of this medicine has
What kind of medicine is this?
yeah, it keeps your focus.
Really?
Also cannot. There's certain medicine which is don't make you strong at all. But instead, it is what we call a masking medicine. So let's say you take steroid, or you take substance X. X will block the steroid.
Then cannot also.
So when they check the blood or the urine, steroid doesn't appear in the system. So they check, say, oh, nothing. The word steroid doesn't appear. But then they check, they realize, this substance X is sitting above it, blocking the steroid.
But how do you know if I took steroid or not?
That's the thing, because for the WADA, they don't care whether you take steroid or not. So long as you take this medicine which has this masking effect, cannot.
What if before I take this masking effect medicine, I do a check first? Okay? I do a urine check, and then after that, I eat the medicine.
You still need to get consent from WADA first. Yeah.
Okay, then I get consent first, but I show them the urine
correct. So
report.
it depends on
So
whether
look
they
at
give you
this.
consent.
I'm
Correct.
clean now, okay? I'm
Correct,
taking this
correct.
medicine now.
Okay. So it's a lot more technical than this, Celine. And I'm actually really compacting it. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, the whole idea of the WADA code is so strict is because I remember the word now, therapeutic exemption, because it's to allow athletes, to disallow athletes from even ever thinking of
Cheating.
taking anything, yeah. So they make it as strict and as unreasonable as possible, so that in the athlete's mind, they will think,
Nothing's gonna
I
happen.
just avoid that. But if let's say they do, like, back to your question, if they do take the medicine and they need some time to recover, you can apply, that's the word looking for, therapeutic exemption. So, therapeutic exemption is where, to be more precise, therapeutic use exemption, TUE. You apply for TUE from WADA. And sometimes WADA will say yes, sometimes say no.
Okay, now we're done with this cheating, doping thing. Doping is mean cheating lah, basically, right?
Yes, correct.
The layman terms. Now let's go to this next thing that I actually never have heard about this until I read about it. Ambush marketing.
Yes.
Marketing also can kena ambush, you know?
Yes, yeah. So it's interesting area in sports law.
Yeah. So, okay, I roughly have the idea of what is it, but can you explain in more detail ambush marketing? What exactly is this? Like, what kind of examples?
This is one of my more interesting and exciting area I like to do, sports law.
Right.
Yeah. So let me give an example. Let's say there is a major football tournament going on, and it's sponsored by a brand which is by nature, the color of the brand is, say, blue. And then you have a bunch of people coming into the stadium, all wearing orange color, and they are from a rival brand. And what's happening is that the rival brand actually paid these 30, 50 people to walk into the stadium, all wear same color, and started to dance and make a lot of noise, and start to shoot live on their handphone, go TikTok live, Instagram live, whatever live. Do you know that the football tournament organizer can remove these people because they are effectively trying to steal the marketing, because the marketing is done by or sponsors by this company, blue company, but this other fellow is trying to ambush it. So this is not allowed. So another example is like television. You know, when you watch badminton tournaments, 15 minutes before tournament, you always get one commentator coming on TV explaining to you what's happening. This player is injured, that player is injured, blah, blah, blah. Actually, that 15 minutes is to stop anybody from buying the advertisement slot before the live game. And so that this 15 minutes is only meant for the real sponsors. So historically, back in the 80s and 70s, especially the 80s, when there's a live game for, say, FA Cup final for football. So the game starts at 10 p.m. At 9:59, a rival cigarette company will put an advertisement. Because they buy the advertisement and they put at 9:59. Then at 10 o'clock, the real advertisers, the real sponsors, which is another smoking company, that time very popular was smoking brand company, the cigarette company. So effectively, the 9:59 brand stole the thunder. It's an ambush marketing. So then we as lawyers, our aim is we draft the agreements to ring fence the sponsorship, the branding of the sports. So the stadium, we say sponsored by the ABC.
Company A.
So let's say brand ABC. So now it's called the stadium ABC. And then you don't want XYZ to come in. So that is how as a sports lawyer, we also have to look at the balancing of the IP rights, branding rights, also to protect the image of the company, blah, blah, blah. So these are all ambush marketing. Very common feature between media, sports, athletes. So there's a lot of overlapping. And that's where we come in as a lawyer to maneuver it, navigate around it.
I also read somewhere, right, like they encourage that, like for example, sponsor company ABC is sponsoring this particular game. So they would say to do like trademark applications and all that, right? But this, I mean, maybe a dumb question, but trademark application, it's kind of like forever, right? So like, how does this trademark application work? Is it only temporarily for the game at the time when the game is being played, or after the game done already, are you going to remove the trademark or what?
So for the record, I'm not a IP lawyer, but generally for sports,
You do the
we do this,
trademark,
we
right?
do this
Yeah.
area. So, so when there's a tournament coming up, or when there's a particular competition, that competition or the tournament may have their own logo, or may have their own design, may have
Yeah.
their own name. So that brand is usually trademark. And normally people don't trademark one day before a tournament. They'll trademark a few years before, usually.
Oh.
Usually. Especially for the world level games. Yeah. So that trademark will remain even after the games, because the game is still being sold. There's so if you hold a tournament now and then it's over next week, and then 2 years from now somebody may still watch your game on archive TV, on YouTube, and the brand that you wear may still be relevant.
So it's still there
Yeah,
lah.
still there lah. Yeah, and as some of you those who do IP will know that trademarks does have a limitation period. But I must be frank, I'm not very familiar on how long it works lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about damages part. Let's just say, right, I have a company XYZ, and then company ABC is the sponsor for this current FIFA game. So I already ambush on social media. Obviously, social media is very fast, right? Sometimes people won't be able to catch it that quick. What if it happens for 2 minutes and the damage has been done? Like, everybody has already seen my company XYZ. And then I earn a significant profit from it.
Yeah.
There's no bad advertising now. Okay?
Yeah,
Bad advertising is still good advertising. Even after this,
Yeah.
I would have still profited from this 2 minutes of ambush already.
Yeah.
How can company ABC now come and sue for damages?
Really good question. Then now we'll navigate into litigation for a while.
Yeah.
So, but before that, Celine,
Yeah.
usually for ambush marketing, the key is of course to prevent lah.
Yeah.
So most companies like the Syarikat ABC will take especially if the tournament is huge, a world level tournament.
Yeah.
Then they will invest heavily in trying to block and stop people from ambushing. But when they do ambush and they file a suit, as a sports lawyer and as a litigation lawyer, the damages will go towards the impact of that. It doesn't matter whether 1 second or 10 minutes, the impact of having that brand on Syarikat ABC. So you have to calculate at the time the opportunity loss. So they would have to bring in experts, consultants who probably one of the major accounting houses will come in to calculate actually that few minutes.
In
how
the
much
2 minutes?
Yeah, it's possible to calculate. There's always a formula. I mean, it's not precise, but it is something where we can gauge. So, for example, that 2 minutes, because people saw the other brand, it may be like, it allowed the brand to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that brand should not be making money out of this, for example.
Yeah.
So, but you see, you must also understand one more thing. There's nothing to stop me from wearing XYZ brand, go to a stadium, outside the stadium, and take a
live
selfie
video.
live. Yeah, it is virtually impossible to stop that. So, I personally have faced this kind of situation where my clients come and ask me what to do, and I told my client this. I said, I understand you are aggrieved, and I understand the frustration where you spend so much money,
Correct.
and then this fella just came and ambush, hijack.
Yep.
But I said, if you sue them, do you know that you're giving more oil to them?
Yeah.
And they will
have more publicity.
Correct. They'll play the victim card.
Yeah.
And then you really look like a bully.
They don't even have to play the victim card. When the thing goes up to court and then it's all over social media, it's also publicity.
Yeah. So in theory, if you file
don't
a suit,
do anything.
Correct. But in theory, if you file a suit and you want to claim damages, it will be calculated based on the opportunity cost, opportunity loss. Because you didn't really suffer any loss.
Yeah.
It's just that the other fellow made money
Yes.
out of you. So it's more of an opportunity issue.
Yeah.
And opportunity is very subjective.
It's harder to calculate.
Very hard to calculate. So even judges will probably
do not
struggle.
even know how to.
Yeah.
to
So they have to rely on
Yeah.
experts. And that's where we get maybe one of the big major consulting companies to come in. But that's in theory. In reality,
It's quite.
I would not recommend.
Yeah.
To me, instead, I would recommend the other way around. Since the other fellow ambushed you, you should ambush back. For example, BMW and Mercedes-Benz, they always do a tit for tat advertisement in Germany. McDonald's and Burger King, very infamous for making tit for tat advertisements. So Syarikat ABC and Syarikat XYZ should do that. That will give it a more humorous feel, and then I think the consumers, when they see, they're like, wow, such a adult, such a matured way of handling it, and you may even end up turning the tide, and people will come back to you. So it's also this is where, as a sports lawyer, even though we are lawyers, we work with marketeers to try and navigate through this and try to win back.
I see.
So being a sports lawyer is not just
You
being
have
a
to be
lawyer.
creative,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's a thing.
I just suddenly thought about a way, like, what if I increase more security within a further vicinity from the place itself? Is that possible, like logistically?
It depends on the agreement you have with the
Security.
location. Yeah. So, for example, if you are hosting a tournament at a stadium, there naturally in the agreement, and most sports lawyers will know about this. We will have an agreement on the parameters of the stadium. How much can I
Go
control?
further, yeah.
Can I put food truck?
Yeah.
Can I sell my merchandise? Where I sell?
Yeah.
So, because the stadium doesn't belong to you, stadium
Yeah.
belongs to somebody else. Unless, of course, you're playing in the football league where you are playing at home, the stadium is your club. That's a different matter. But I'm talking about tournaments, right? Like a world tournament. So then let's say the stadium owner said, no, you can only do until here only. So even your security can only surround that perimeter lah. So outside, a bit hard lah. So that's why I say it's virtually impossible to really stop someone. But what you can do instead is you discourage people.
Yeah.
And then you make sure that the whole world knows that
You
this is
are
the brand.
the
You are the
sponsor.
brand, yeah. So every time someone see XYZ, they'll know, yeah.
This one is
It's
not.
just,
yeah.
it's ABC. So like that lah.
Okay, so last question. We are
finale,
going. Yeah. Okay, we are going to match fixing.
Oh.
So far, I read that last time our badminton association had this match fixing issue, right? Am I right?
This one player, yeah.
Okay, let's talk more about that.
Well, I mean, let's not talk about that incident. Let's talk generally
Yeah.
about match fixing, right? So generally about match fixing, let me give you an example like tennis, and the tennis have a certain software or certain app where they can keep a tab on whether or not players are betting on themselves to lose, or players' family members are betting that they will lose. For example, they have this kind of software or app. Well, now it's all apps to keep track on this.
Oh.
So that is how some sports federation, they use technology to keep an eye on the behavior of sports betting. Also, then the other thing is like certain sports, they will look at the behavior of the athlete themselves. Is it natural for the person to hit the ball that way, kick the ball that way, hit the shuttle in a particular way? They observe them. And also a lot of times this sports association, they like WADA, they have a right to check your phone. They have a right to check your history of emails, because they want to see whether you were communicating with a bookie, blah blah blah.
Obviously, I wouldn't be communicating with written
Yeah,
correspondences, right?
You'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, you'll be surprised. And then sometimes they also rely on whistleblowers. So a lot of sports federation, they encourage whistleblowers. They protect the identity of the whistleblower. And then and when they discover this, they usually confront the athlete or the coach. Sometimes the coach is involved. And then they'll take action.
So are you saying that if let's just say I'm a very good sports badminton player, and then my family bet that I'm gonna lose, is that possibility of match fixing?
Possible. Even football has this problem where people, they call it sport betting, SPOT, sport betting, where there have been certain cases where certain players, there's a bet on a player that he or she will get yellow card at this certain time. And true enough, he or she got a yellow card. So when FIFA
Coincidentally?
yes, possible, yeah. So that's why these are all behavioral patterns which the Football Association or the tournament organizer will need to study. In fact, now match fixing, anti-match fixing procedures are a lot more technical and a lot more advanced. And it's not the perfect way to solve it.
Yep.
There's no one solution clear all kind of solution, but there are tools to help the sports federation to identify people who may be fixing matches.
But how far can the federation extend their investigation? Like investigating, let's just say, like like bribery, corruption. We investigate bank accounts and all that, right?
Yeah.
Money flow, people that you're meeting with. So does the federation investigation also extends to that much?
It's possible because again, the athlete, when they participated in the tournament, again, same like the anti-doping, executed an agreement with a clause which say that the federation has a right to investigate. So the sports agreements to participate is not a one-piece paper,
Oh.
It's quite a extensive clause to identify many regulation and compliance. Yeah.
Well, see, it's not just about playing, I guess. It's not just about winning.
Yeah.
It's also a lot about being fair to each other.
Correct.
So that people don't make an extra earning out of it as well, especially with match fixing, right? So, I think our episode has come to an end. I enjoyed this topic where I had asked, I think I got a lot of answers.
Good.
Right? I understand sports law a little bit more now. I used to, no idea. Right? So thank you again for coming.
Well, thank you for having me today. And actually, I think, can I just say that I congratulate you for holding this podcast.
Thank you.
It's a very brave move. And I think it is a modern and current way to reach out to listeners and sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
So I know you could have been doing many things today, but you end up meeting me, and I thank you.
But why? I had fun.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
I enjoyed the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. So I see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.